Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you what it really takes to build a cabin that can handle Alaska's brutal winters. Trust me, this is no joke. The planning and effort that go into this are absolutely intense. We're talking months of work, incredible attention to detail, and some seriously high-level craftsmanship. So, first things first, they're pouring concrete into this muddy, waterlogged ground. You can't skip this step because if the foundation isn't solid, the entire cabin becomes unstable. In Alaska, where the ground constantly freezes and thaws, the foundation has to handle serious stress. That's why they're taking their time, making sure every inch is done properly. Now they're wrapping a waterproof barrier around the foundation trenches. Why? Because all that moisture in the soil can seriously damage your walls if it's not properly controlled. Water is the enemy when building in Alaska. It seeps in, freezes, expands, and can quickly lead to cracks and structural problems. This membrane acts like insurance for the entire build, protecting it from long-term damage. Yeah, same idea here. You've got to make sure moisture doesn't creep in and damage everything you're building. They're being extremely thorough with this step, checking every corner and making sure there's complete coverage. No shortcuts when you're building something that needs to last through decades of harsh weather. Alright, check this out. They're laying down these pipes in a specific pattern for the floor heating system. This isn't random at all. There's real science behind how these pipes are arranged to distribute heat evenly. Once it's all set up, the entire cabin will stay warm and comfortable no matter how cold it gets outside. Imagine stepping onto a warm floor on a freezing Alaska morning. That's exactly what this system delivers. It's one of those features you won't see once the floor is finished, but you'll definitely feel it every single day. Now we're talking. Cranes are hauling up these massive logs. These aren't just for show, they're going to support the entire structure. We're talking hundreds of pounds per log, so everything has to be measured perfectly. Since these logs are going on the upper level, they need to fit exactly right. One wrong measurement could lead to gaps, instability, and major problems down the line. The level of precision required here is seriously impressive. Row by row, they're stacking these logs onto the frame, and you can really start to see the cabin taking shape now. It's pretty cool to watch. It's like a giant puzzle coming together, except each piece weighs a ton and has to be placed perfectly. The walls are rising steadily, and you can already imagine what the finished place will look like. Watch this. They're using a crane to lift this huge triangular log section for the roof. The crew up top is making tiny adjustments to get it positioned just right. We're talking near millimeter level precision here. This step is critical because it has to handle the weight of heavy Alaskan snow. Roofs up there can carry several feet of snow, and if the structure isn't strong enough, that's a serious problem. These workers clearly know exactly what they're doing. Something really interesting here. They're actually burning the wood on purpose. It's an old-school technique called charring, and it helps protect the logs from water damage, insects, and Alaska's extreme weather. This method has been used for centuries in different cultures because it truly works. The charred surface becomes naturally resistant to rot and pests. It's pretty amazing how sometimes the traditional methods still turn out to be the most effective. Now they're laying straight boards across the big roof trusses, building a solid base for everything that will go on top. These boards form the deck that all the roofing materials will sit on. It has to be strong, level, and properly secured because it's supporting everything above it. Now they're installing the roof rafters one by one. These pieces are surprisingly light, but extremely strong, and they're what will carry the entire roof system. Each rafter is spaced out with precision so the load from heavy snow gets distributed evenly across the structure. That spacing is critical. Too tight and you waste materials, too wide and the roof loses strength. This is where the engineering really shows. Everything has to be measured and aligned perfectly so the cabin can handle serious Alaskan winters without any structural issues. See that spray foam? They're filling every gap between the rafters with insulation. In Alaska's freezing temperatures, this step is absolutely essential for keeping the heat inside. Without proper insulation, you'd burn through fuel just trying to maintain a comfortable temperature. This expanding foam gets into every crack and crevice, creating an airtight seal that locks in warmth and improves energy efficiency. They're applying a protective coating to the wooden floors so normal wear and tear won't damage them over time. These floors are going to see constant use, thousands of footsteps, furniture being moved around, plus dirt and moisture being tracked in from outside. This finish acts like a shield, helping the wood resist scratches, stains, and general aging so it stays looking good for years. Check out these large metal sheets being unloaded. This is basically the roof's main line of defense against snowstorms and heavy rain. They're trimming the green metal panels to precise sizes and laying them out so each sheet overlaps the next perfectly. That overlap is what keeps water from getting in during harsh weather. Metal roofing is especially useful in places like Alaska because snow slides right off instead of piling up. It also handles extreme temperature swings really well without cracking or warping, which makes it incredibly durable over time. Now they're down in the mud working on the plumbing. If these pipe connections aren't sealed properly, it can lead to major leaks later on. And once everything is buried, fixing those problems becomes a huge, costly headache. So they're moving carefully, making sure every joint is tight and every connection is fully secure before covering anything up. After the pipes are in, the excavator is carefully burying everything back underground, sealing it in for protection. The depth is important. These lines need to sit deep enough that they won't freeze during the harsh winter months. That's a constant concern in Alaska. If pipes freeze, they can expand and burst, leading to serious damage and expensive repairs, so proper burial depth and insulation are critical to prevent that. Now comes some very precise work, cutting grooves into the log walls with a chainsaw. These grooves are what allow insulation and trim to sit perfectly, helping the structure become tight and airtight. It takes real control and skill here. One wrong move could damage an entire log. After cutting, they even clean out the grooves by hand because even tiny wood chips can ruin the seal. It's slow, careful work that really depends on patience and experience. Time to build the interior walls. These lightweight stud walls divide the space into rooms and also add some extra structural support. Even though the main log walls carry most of the building's load, these interior partitions are important for organizing the layout. They also provide space to run electrical wiring and plumbing lines neatly through the house, making everything functional and efficient. Big delivery today. The doors and windows have just arrived. They're carefully unloading everything from the truck and bringing it inside so the house can be fully sealed up. These aren't cheap either. High-quality windows and doors that can handle Alaska's harsh climate are a serious investment, but they pay off by keeping the cold out and the heat in. Lifting the windows into place now, they have to sit perfectly flush with the wall. No gaps are allowed at this stage. Those large glass panels in the triangular section require ladders and extreme care to position safely. Dropping one would be a major setback, both expensive and dangerous. So the team is moving slowly and deliberately, making sure every lift and placement is precise. This is where experience really shows. A less skilled crew might rush through it, but these workers know that taking extra time now prevents bigger problems later. Careful, precise work at this stage saves a lot of repairs and frustration down the line, especially when everything needs to stay aligned and weathertight for years. Installing the lockbox next to the door now. Once the screws are tightened and the locking mechanism is properly secured, the door becomes genuinely secure. Even in remote areas, security is still important. A properly installed lock system ensures the house stays protected and gives real peace of mind.
The wood planks are being cleaned and arranged, then lightly charred on the surface. This burning process strengthens the wood, making it more resistant to weather, moisture, and insects. At the same time, it gives the boards a deep, dark finish that looks really striking. It's a perfect mix of durability and aesthetics, form and function working together.
This pink waterproofing membrane is being applied across the entire wall. Once it dries, it creates a strong protective layer that adds serious durability. It's designed specifically for wet environments, preventing moisture from passing through the structure. In effect, it creates a sealed barrier inside the walls, almost like forming a bathtub layer that protects everything behind it. After each tile is placed, they're using spacers to keep everything evenly spaced and ensure the lines stay straight for grouting. These small plastic pieces make a huge difference in the final result. Without them, the tiles could shift slightly and the grout lines would end up uneven or messy, so they help keep everything perfectly aligned and professional looking. Holding the thick wooden frame carefully in place next to the window ensures a clean, even finish. The upper window frame is lifted and positioned with precision so all surrounding gaps are properly covered. Window trim isn't just decorative, it also helps seal out drafts and completes the installation, making the window both functional and weather-tight. They're carefully measuring and installing the wooden trim under the window so the entire frame sits perfectly even. Every piece is cut to exact dimensions. Each board is measured, cut, and joined precisely to create a polished frame around the window, enhancing the room's overall appearance. This kind of attention to detail is what turns ordinary carpentry into truly exceptional work. When the final piece of wood is installed, the window frame is complete. The smooth, finished look makes the room feel warmer and more natural. It's really satisfying to watch a project come together so neatly.
Hey, they're installing another window frame with expert precision. Every corner is measured and secured perfectly. The frame blends seamlessly with the wooden walls, creating a warm, natural atmosphere. Consistency is key. Each window is getting the same high-quality treatment. The new window frames are being carefully measured and installed, matching the wood texture for a beautiful, natural appearance. They're slowly setting each frame in place, checking the level, and aligning it perfectly so it looks great from both inside and outside. Another wooden window frame is being lifted into place, with two people working together. They're checking the level, tightening screws so it sits strong and straight, and attaching it to the log wall for a seamless fit. One person holds the frame while the other uses the screw gun to secure it in place. They're replacing the kitchen window frame now. The surrounding wood pieces are being measured, cut, and carefully positioned. Two people are working together above the sink, making sure every piece fits perfectly. The kitchen window is especially important. It's the view you'll enjoy while cooking or doing dishes. They're adjusting the upper cabinet trim in the kitchen, working together to measure and fit each piece precisely. These finishing touches make everything look neat and polished, really elevating the entire space. They're carefully applying sealant around the door so no air or water can get in. Every gap in the frame is sealed to make the room completely airtight. They're also adding gap filler along the door edge next to the outer wall for extra protection. Air sealing is taken very seriously in Alaska. They're installing a wooden frame firmly around the window. The carpenters are measuring everything precisely and drilling in the screws so it fits perfectly with the wall. Each screw is tightened carefully, firm enough to hold, but not so tight that it splits the wood.
Fitting wooden trim around the upper windows so it blends beautifully with those log walls. Each trim piece gets positioned correctly and screwed in tight. The attention to detail throughout this build has been incredible. And there it is. The whole log cabin is complete. The woodwork, the green surroundings, that beautiful deck, it all comes together to make this place look like an absolute dream. After months of hard work, seeing the finished product must be incredibly satisfying. This wooden house, nestled in the middle of nature, is simply stunning. The cabin is now completely livable and looks amazing. Every step, from the foundation to the roof, was done with care and expertise. Thanks for watching, everyone. I put a lot of work into making this video for you. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this.